Okay. So far, a fair one. I've not seen any other. Oh, no, there it is right there. It's enough pulling for now. Oh, hi, Scarlet Shoe. How's it going? I'm doing alright. Got my insurance all squared away and made dinner and chilling in Minecraft now. Make some books. And I make a bookcase. Oh, I don't have the wood. Why do I not have wood? Okay. Yeah, I have been dealing with insurance. In my state, and I won't get too much into it, but yeah, pretty much, I was on insurance. I was on like state insurance up until recently, when they decided I was now making too much money after kicking me off of the insurance I had before because I was not making enough money. So now I'm making too much money. So now I have to get the old insurance back again. Nope, not yet. Don't you just love bureaucracy? I wonder if it's possible to make like some sort of Yeah, I've been through that a while back. Yeah, not fun. Oh, it's already almost nighttime. Exactly, Scarlet Shoe. Luckily, I'm going to a competent insurance company, so it wasn't like a. They made it very easy once the company itself made it very easy once you know, I got into it. It's my issue was entirely with the state government. And yeah, so what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, that's right. I was building this and that. And today, I'm not planning on doing anything terribly exciting. If sorry to disappoint, I'm just gonna kind of keep working on building up my enchanting little corner in the basement. Oh, okay. Way to rain on my parade. Might as well do some fishing. But yeah, since Scarlet's not streaming, I thought I might as well. And I did Halo yesterday, and it was a bit of a, and it did put up a fight, especially at the end there. So I wanted to do something more chill today. Hence Minecraft. Yeah, I also cooked my mom's favorite soup. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're here. You stopped by, Scarlet Shoe. It gets a little awkward when no one shows up and I just kind of here, existing. It's not that big of a deal, but I like playing Minecraft and chill in the chill out mode here, just because it's a good way to kind of talk to people. Yeah, I have people I could watch too when Scarlet's not on stream, but, I don't know. I just don't do that all that often anymore. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn how to, talk to myself, out loud. I'm kind of like one of those people that is very quiet in real life, so, you know. So, if you watch any of my stream VODs where there's a moment of quiet, it's because there's no one to talk to, and I just, think to myself, okay, yeah, okay. But yeah, feel free to give streaming another go if if you feel up to it. Would you stream on Twitch or YouTube? Oh yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, it's the anticipation that was the worst part of it. You know, luckily I'm, you know, in a fairly welcome community, and you know, even though most of them, you know, even though, you know, I usually don't get too many people to watch, you know, that's perfectly fine by me. You know, just a handful, you know, just one or two people is perfectly fine. You know, just so I have someone to interact with, but not a larger number where, you know, the trolls show up. Yeah, well, don't, you know, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know, I just decided to stream just because, well, you know, it seems like, you know, some good fun. You know, just a, you know, it beats going out and actually having friends. I'm kidding. That's obviously a joke, but yeah. But yeah, you know, if you have things you want to, you know, for instance, I intend to use the stream in order to show mostly games that I am fond of. Yeah, well, you know, we all, people rub off on each other, so not too surprising, really. Yeah, it's still on my end goals to get an Elgato so I can play my old PlayStation 2 games. Oh yeah, there was a ton of bangers on the PS2. I still have the OG one, like one of those early models I got. I want to say it was for my 6th birthday. Like it had just come out. It's like one of those old-fashioned blocky ones. Yeah, still kept it running. Almost died many years ago, but Mommy Tibbets managed to looked up online how to fix it, and she took it apart and put it back together again herself. So yeah. Because dang it, she spent too much money on games for it. So well, I think it's because people are now calling it retro. So now that gives them the moral justification to jack up the price to comically large numbers. Is what I'm thinking is happening. But yeah, like the vast majority of the Armored Core games were on the PS2. So, you know, if you weren't sick and tired of me playing mech games already, you will be once I get that Elgato. I kid, obviously. Obviously, yeah, but like the original Battlefront 2, I know you can play it on PC and stuff, but, you know, I already have it on the PS2, so. Yeah, 800 is quite the bit for an old piece of hardware, but you know that if especially one that's gonna get increasingly difficult to find games for because it wasn't it didn't have the ability to download games off the internet. It was entirely based on discs, physical media, which goes out of manufacturing over time, and yeah. I was very niche. I was pretty much an Armored Core Mecha diehard growing up, so we didn't actually get too many games for it, so it's just kind of. Yeah, I missed out on a lot of the classics, so maybe someday I'll get some Jack and Daxters. And we did get the Ratchet and Clank collection on the PS3, I think, but that's that's a lot more difficult to get in. I'll get Elgato to work with. Maybe someday in the far future I'll also do hand cams. I know, right? Oh, hi Cassie, how's it going? Good, good, good. Yeah, we were just chit-chatting about streaming PlayStation, and now retro consoles. Uh, you missed the great fun we had talking about insurance troubles towards the beginning of stream. But yeah, I'm. Oh yeah, yeah. Just a quick recap. I got my new health insurance squared away because I am now I'm back on insurance I had a while ago but I had to leave because I wasn't making enough money. But now I'm making too much money, so they kicked me off the state insurance, and now I'm back on my old insurance. So yeah, that was kind of what I've been stressing out about the past week, week and a half. But yeah, worst part is the government sent the warnings that they were going to pull it because on an email account I don't use anymore. So it was my mom actually was over noticed a message on her email because she was like a backup email, and she let me know that my insurance is getting terminated. So I had to go back, set up, like, get everything transferred over to the correct email address as well. It was just... Yeah. And then we were talking about, how she would like to, was thinking about streaming, getting back into streaming, because I guess they did it before. Um, yeah, it happens. It happens. I'm sure I'm not unique. Yep, there it is, Cassie. You proved one point. Yeah, I'm sure, when this happens to all sorts of people, doesn't make it any less obnoxious. But what can you do? Well, obviously, if enough time's passed, you obviously changed over time to the shoes, so you could definitely consider it a fresh start. Oh yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will, Shu. Obviously, years have come by. Most people have, like, switched over to PCs, I believe, which are generally just more flexible streaming platforms as well. But yeah, just obviously, have some content in mind when you play it. When you do streaming, that's my little advice. Not that I really have much. Not that I can really give much advice. I'm very new to this too, and kind of just learn as I go. You know what, Cassie? Can't say I understand it. I don't either. Sometimes you just kind of have to take that leap. Um, Luckily, OBS is actually free. That's the software that you use to actually do the streaming. It's like the one that shows you, like, the inputs and outputs, and that you connect to, like, say, I use YouTube, obviously. Uh, and it has the ability to automatically link to your YouTube channel, and then you just simply schedule a stream, and then it just captures your PC. Now, obviously, I am very much still new to this. I don't have an intro or outro screen, which is why sometimes if you stick around, if you come early enough or stick around, you'll see my desktop. Because I literally have nothing else, nothing else to put up there. As for, you'll need an audio input, so like a microphone of some sort. Now, luckily, OBS, as far as I'm aware, is compatible with just about any microphone. Like, my first streams, I was using like a gaming headset I bought with a PC that I never used because I don't talk to people. A gaming headset, it obviously wasn't the highest quality, but it worked. After a while, I got this, relatively cheap, but still, effective, microphone that just kind of clamps onto a... Yeah, me too, Cassie. That's kind of why I ultimately chose YouTube, because I already had a YouTube channel that, I was just using to, subscribe to people. But, I guess, you tend to get larger streaming audiences on Twitch, but again, I didn't want to deal with like having to establish like you know, a new setup, like a new account. And I guess you can do both at the same time, but but I only have, but so far I'm only be able to see one live stream at a time because my setup. Yes, you could have the YouTube chat, but I'm using my drawing tablet as my main screen for like the game itself, and my screen, and then I have the OBS up on my main screen, and I have chat on my phone. I'm essentially watching my own video, my own stream. Oh, I missed my cancer. Essentially, so I could read chat and have it next to my little game monitor here. So if you look at like the live chat, it should say 3 people are watching. I am one of them. Yeah, pretty much, Cassie. Though to be honest, the main screen with the OBS on. I'm not actually watching at really much of the time. I'm mostly just kind of looking down at my tablet and my phone next to the tablet. I'm at one point it's possible to have your chat up on the OBS screen as well. I just hadn't really got to set the time aside to like experiment with that. Like it's really possible to do it that way. Also, there is a delay, so if a creeper snuck up on me and I was relying on the YouTube alone, I'd be blown up. Albeit that didn't stop me from being blown up 4 times the other time I was playing this game, but yeah, that's a great idea. Shu, that'd be an awesome, like kind of pitch, a nice catch for Cassie to kind of market, if you will. Like say, here I'm going to attempt to get X trophy on Y game, and that'd be like like your objective for the stream, and they don't have to be long streams. Like I've streamed as short as like less than an hour. Obviously you're limited by your patience. I'm mostly limited by the comfort of my chair, but that might actually improve because my mom is getting me a new chair for my birthday coming up in like 10 days. So yeah, if you want to basically to kind of get back to the subject, Cassie, if you the bare minimum you need to actually do a stream is to have the software OBS. It's free. A microphone of some sort that works with your PC, and ideally at least one extra screen. How goes the trophy hunting, by the way, Cassie? Ah, yes, that's right. Trophy hunting for the PlayStations. Yeah, you would need a device called an Elgato. There's a couple different models. An older one, will you need an older one to work on the PS3, and it takes and from what I've read, the PS3 puts up a bit of a fight because there's a bit of like there's a system in there that's meant to like prevent hacking, I guess. That kind of fights you there. But there are newer ones that work, or they're compatible with the PlayStation 5. And it's the newer ones that would be like the first ones you see on Amazon. Now those ones will cost you a pretty penny though. Like the one I'm looking for was like $250. Which is obviously more than I would like, but fairly cheap if it means I get to play all my old Armored Core games and Front Mission 4 and stream it for you people. Nope. It's just coming up now. Brink. That was a cover story for a Game Informer I got, and I thought, oh, that looked kind of cool, and then it came out, and it just didn't really catch on. Kind of sad. What kind of streams would you do, Shu? Since we grilled Cassie about how they'd stream. Oh, the co-op missions in Battlefield 3. That helicopter one was the worst. Let me tell you, Cassie, I'll have to admit, I beat it through a glitch. It wasn't my fault. I was playing co-op with another person. We failed that mission, and then they just decided to play the next mission because I guess they beat it already, and it just automatically completed for me too. Yeah, I only ever got very far as the gunner, too. But the game loved to make me the pilot. That's probably why I never got very far. And this was a time that I didn't talk to people online. I was very nervous, like incredibly anxious. Like at the time I wasn't diagnosed, but I clearly had some sort of it's now diagnosed that I have like an anxiety disorder. I'm a lot better at it now, obviously, but anyway, so it was only randos. I didn't have any friends to call upon. Yeah, if all else fails, I hope you get it glitches out for you. It glitches past for you too, Cassie, because that's that. I can already tell that's going to be your that's going to be the barrier, because every other mission was pretty much a normal shooting, was like a normal boots on the ground fighting, regular mission. That was the only time they forced you into a helicopter, and obviously flying is complicated. I just love when it just randomly flies off for no reason. Anyway. Oh, good God. Yeah, it has to be hard mode because it's a trophy, and I forgot about that. So it's going to be even worse for you. My condolences, Cassie. But yeah, I had a good deal of fun with Battlefield 3 back in the day. I was never good at it, and when I was good at it, it was only because I was using a gun that just turned out to be OP. And they would then patch it later on, and then I wasn't doing good again. Like, I remember when the FAMAS was first introduced, and it was like the OP weapon for a while. Then they patched it to, at least on the PS3 it was. I believe on the PC they gave it a smaller than average magazine, and then they eventually patched it so that the PS3 was like the other versions. And then it sucked. Then the M16A3 was the OP weapon for a while, and which was really weird because it was like the default weapon, the weapon you start with when you play the game as the Marines. And then after a while, I just kind of stopped playing it because I realized, you know what? Actually, PvP games aren't my thing. I'm just not having fun. I'm having quote unquote fun because I'm supposed to have fun. But this just isn't really fun for me. I'm much more of a narrative guy. I like the more consistency that a single player game gives. And that's good for you, Shu. Obviously, it wouldn't exist if if there wasn't a market for it. And actually, quite frankly, that's like the bigger half of the market, I believe. At least for the longest time, it was. Like, do you remember when every single game would have a PvP mode, like a multiplayer mode, regardless of whether it made sense or not? Like, even like the older, like I say older, but they were like the last two Armored Core games that came out before Armored Core 6. And I say old because there's a literal 10-year gap between Armored Core Verdict Day, which is the last one that came out, in Armored Core 6, the most recent one. And that was an online, and those were online games. They were built around multiplayer. And even then I avoided the PvP element. I became very good at co-op. Especially in Armored Core 5. And for like the briefest moment, like for like a solid hour before like they updated again, I was actually the top earning like co-op mercenary for hire co-op guy you could get in the North American server for Armored Core 5. And I would have people like literally come and ask, "Hey, would you mind helping us out with this mission?" And even if they even had people that asked me to help in PvP just because they assumed that I was good at PvP because I was good at PvE. I was not. But yeah, those are good times. Good times. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's a niche game. It was especially niche back then, but it was cool. It was really freaking cool. I would have loved to, help Scarlet out in, that was the ultimate missed opportunity, because Armored Core Verdict Day, the last of the two of those games, had their server shut down back in March. Barely anyone was playing them at that point, but it would have been really cool if, Scarlet, was willing to, ask for help. I would have been there. I could have been the go-to Scarling, Scarling carrying service if she had gotten into Armored Core Verdict Day. In Armored Core 5 or Verdict Day. But of course it was on the PC, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 only, and those are kind of a pain in the butt to actually stream from. Oh yeah, I can't tell you how many people I ended up carrying in Armored Core 5. Like Armored Core 5 was like the first Armored Core game that had had checkpoints, and also like essentially quote unquote bonfires, which are like these in Armored Core 6 where you have the supply Sherpa, where you could call in like this pod that comes in, resupplies your ammo and health. Well, they had something similar where you would essentially secure an area, and it would unlock like a landing pad for a helicopter to come down, and then you could actually recustomize your mech mid-battle. It would also respawn any your friendly unit that died if they died, and I can't tell you how many times I was the one that had to revive the actual person I was helping through the mission. Nope, and that's down. Seeing a strong bias to cod from this river. Yeah, I can be kind of stubborn sometimes too. Like when it comes to the that was my weakness in Armored Core in Armored Core 5 and Verdict Day, was that I was unwilling to adapt to the meta for PvP. I was always gearing up my ACs to be as optimized for for the missions, for the single player, quote unquote single player, but like co-op missions. And I was too stubborn to rebuild my ACs to fight other players, which didn't really matter because my internet wasn't terribly stable at the time, and I would just it would lag enough that the guy with the insta-kill pile bunker would be on top of me and hit me before I even realized what was going on. You guys want some leather boots? I got spare leather boots. I wonder what kind of enchantments are available for the fishing rod now that I did up the built up the enchanting corner a little more. Unbreaking 3, eh? Oh, just Unbreaking 3, okay. Nothing else. That's fine. But yeah, what kind of games would you stream, Shu? You said you mentioned liking PvP. Would you like to stream PvP games primarily, like your sweaty COD plays and? Oh yeah, I was just watching Aya play the Space Marine 2, was it? If that's the same one we're talking about, yeah, I was just watching Aya play it. Looks pretty cool, pretty epic. And that's really the way to do it, Shu, is to not make yourself beholden to things. Just, I do want to give you a word of warning, though. Be ready to play games you are really only willing to play streamed, though. Because when you start streaming, it's kind of awkward playing it off stream because then you're not broadcasting your progress. That's it. It is a good incentive to kind of get you to keep streaming in that case, but and that's really only an issue for like single player games, I guess, because then you're because the multiplayer games there's less of a narrative reason to people won't be missing like narrative events. So I guess if your if your main focus is on like multiplayer games, I guess it's not that big of an issue if you play off stream. Well, that's good, Cassie. Yeah, beating every mission on the hardest difficulty is a bit of a drag, especially if you're not terribly good at the said game. That's why I never did a trophy hunting or anything. Like the closest I did to ever completing a game's like trophy collection was Skyrim on the PlayStation 4, and then I put a mod in it. It stopped me from unlocking like the very last one, which was the get an X amount of bounty in every hold. Ah, yes. Kind of the same reason why I kind of wanted to stream, because it gives me an excuse to play games I liked back in the day, but haven't really had the chance or kind of grown tired of playing by myself all the time. Like, for instance, that's kind of one of the, for example, Premonition 4. It's a game I've had for a long, long time, and I've played it so much and done everything I can in it that the only reason that I would go back to it at this point is if I was to drag someone else down into it with me. Also, the old Armor Cores as well. Because, pretty much everyone has seen Armor Core 6 by now. But if I get an Elgato, I could play like the original one through all the way through Last Raven on the PlayStation 2, and then I have to try and fight the PlayStation 3 in order to get Armored Core 4, For Answer, 5, and Verdict Day. Albeit 5 and Verdict would lose a lot of their charm because they no longer have the online servers. They still have single-player campaign modes, so... By the way, Cassie, what is your most favorite game of all time? And Shu, you get to answer that question too as well. Oh, yeah. I believe not only have you told me before, but yeah, I should remember that. It's a game I need to play too, Cassie. I need to play it too. I probably can, actually, because I just remembered that my brother, my youngest brother, I believe, has it in his Steam library, and we share the library, so I could probably check and see if I can even play it, Baldur's Gate 3 myself. I'll figure that out. And Spyro 3, yep. A bona fide classic. Yeah, sorry, Cassie. Some things kind of go over my head, which is impressive given I'm 6'7", but But yeah, I got a couple games which are like, up there with like my favorite games of all time. Like Front Mission 4 is probably the one I would probably, that's most consistently at the top of the list. Like it's a good strategy game. It has customizable mecha like Armor Core, but it's slow paced. Its story's a bit dry compared to the other Front Mission games I played. Like, it's about, like Front Mission 3, for instance, if I were to describe you in Front Mission 3, you would think I was talking about Metal Gear Solid. It's that kind of bonkers, but... But it's a strategy game, so... Whereas 4 is much more stable. Like Front Mission 3 is a game where genetically engineered superhumans steal a nuclear device. So you have to assemble like a team as you go on a globe-trotting adventure, as you get involved in various civil wars, and unravel this grand conspiracy to take over the world and bring about peace among mankind. Oh, there's giant robots. But yeah, From Mission 4 is up there. My favorite Armored Core game is actually Armored Core 4 Answer. It's actually a lot of Armored Core fans' favorite games. Game in the series. That was the first one that I beat entirely. Like, I got the top rank in both normal and hard mode. Shame there was no trophy system for it because, or thankfully there was no trophy because I never played PvP. Well, I have played PvP with my brothers. But it is arguably the most fast-paced, intense game ever made. Yeah, I was also on the PlayStation 3 and the 360, but not on the PC, unless you want to use an emulator. But, you know, if you can figure it out, then more power to you, but I'm going to stick with the Elgato method. Nice. We did have a 360. You know, that was like the only Xbox we ever got was an Xbox 360, and we only ever played. It was my youngest brother's console. He got it. It's like kind of his property. It still is. But the only games that we as a family ever played on it were Minecraft, like OG Minecraft, and Castle Crashers. But he played a fair few other games on it, But, like, you know, like, we played a tiny bit of Halo 3 and a tiny bit of Halo 4, but I never really truly played, Halo until I started streaming. Yeah. Kind of wish more games would get, like, the digital treatment. Like, wouldn't it be my luck if you know, I do get an Elgato, and then the very next day they announce that From Software announces they're going to be porting all, you know, like the entire Armored Core series onto PC, defeating the purpose of me spending $250 getting an Elgato in the first place. But yeah, like I get why you know not every game can be backwards compatible with, you know, newer hardware. But you know, it should make the like, you know, the publishers more willing to, you know, make, you know, digital re-releases on the newer hardware in order to compensate for it. But obviously that's not the kind of world we live in. Yeah, Cassie, I still have my OG on PlayStation 2. Like, it's like one of the OG models, like the first generation models. And most of the disc games, I still got. And it's those that I've sold over time, rather stupidly, to GameStop, which, you know, which gives you like pennies on the dollar back for it. So it was really stupid that we handed them back in hindsight. But yeah. Yeah, my OG PS2, it has like that slide. It has a disc drive that slides out. Like, you know, it's like one of those mechanical ones that slides out. You put in, yeah, then you it's like the old towers on PCs as well. Pretty much same idea. It's getting a little sticky, so it takes a couple tries to actually open it. But yeah, yeah, I can see it not being able to close it is a bit of a problem, Cassie. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong button. Yeah, I haven't had to use a butter knife on my PlayStation 2 yet, though, so that's good. But yeah, it's funny that the PS2 is the one that soldiered on. Like, I had to go get get like a second gen, like more slim PS3 because of my OG PS3 died because my cousin turned it off incorrectly once and then it just didn't turn back on. Um, I had two. The household had two like Generation 1 PlayStation 1s that both overheated, so we ended up getting like a mini, like the smaller version of that that's still going on, albeit it kind of gets its lid kind of gets stuck open because the button kind of gets stuck, so you kind of have to kind of wiggle it around to get it unstuck. Oh, did the oh yeah, I never had an OG Xbox, so I didn't know where the memory is stored. It has like it doesn't have like external memory cards, I guess. So yeah, that was the problem. Was when I had to, because the PlayStation 3 was the same thing, and I had it for like at least a year when it died. So when it died, I had to replay Armored Core 4 and For Answer to get all my data back. The crops are doing well today. Yeah, uh, yeah. When I got my PSP, my mom forgot to get a memory card for it, so I could never make any progress in the game. I got like the couple games we got for it. Uh, and obviously obviously couldn't leave it on all night because it's a battery operated device. It's not like plugged into the wall. So I just had to keep replaying the first mission of SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs battle. Bravo. Fire Team Bravo 2. Which is probably my favorite PSP game of all time, actually, funnily enough. Yeah, I played it so much that I learned that there's like a hidden special mission, because there's alongside the story mode, there's like these randomized missions you could play, just for the hell of it. On the maps. And if you play it long, and if you keep playing enough of those, the mission will change to a new mission. It'll say one mission when you enter it. It'll be like one of the other randomized missions, and then when you actually enter it, it's something entirely different. It's where you have to collect a bunch of sausages. Like, the objective is you have to go around the map and collect a bunch of flavored sausages with like silly they'll have mention descriptions of what the flavor of the sausage is, and your character will make silly remarks about yum, this sausage is good, and stuff like that. Really bizarre. I've only been able to get it to work twice. The requirements to get it to do that are very high, I guess. And I've only been able to do it on the actual PSP version. I got the PS Vita port later on, but never got it to work on that. I have never played any Assassin's Creed games. I probably should. I heard they're good games, but just never really piqued my interest at the time. Yeah, I recall I remember when they I think it was Origins when they kind of made it more RPG, and I thought, well, that's interesting, but I'd imagine it would make the getting your platinums a little difficult because you'd have to play for so long in order to get everything done. Oh yeah, remember what? Do you remember when like DLC packs became it was like the thing that everyone was complaining about back in the day? You know, before microtransactions, it was always about DLC. DLC. Why don't you just get the game complete in the beginning? Blah 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 blah. I mean, yeah, I get the criticism, but it does allow you to open up the possibility to like add to the game or to fix games which are broken at launch. So. Oh, nice! $40 for the Ultimate Edition of which game? Which of one of the Assassin's Creed? Oh, Valhalla. That's what I just picked up. This one. Interesting. Yeah, 40 is definitely lower than 140. That's for sure. Yeah, wasn't Scarlet scared of these things? Watch as it's the one time I like point out that she's afraid of the squid that she pops into one of my streams. You know, I'm actually considering, you know, streaming the Front Mission First remake as a potential streaming series in the future. Yeah, I don't know how anybody thinks about that, but, you know. I have it on my PC already, so... Oh yeah, I also have Titanfall 2. I played one stream of, but I couldn't get it to fit my screen properly, and didn't have controller support, so I'll have to tinker with the options of that and actually get back into it. I'm looking forward to that new computer chair my mom's getting me for my birthday. It's got a 6-inch cushion and additional lumbar support, which oh wow, that was way off. Yeah, hopefully it means that I could do longer streams in the future, because like the main thing that's like prevents me from streaming longer is that my butt kind of starts to ache after a bit. I know she's afraid of those, by the way. They literally just kind of throw themselves onto the surface and die. Yet she fears them. the chickens over here. But first, oh, look at the time. It's almost 10 p.m. for me. Been streaming for almost an hour and a half. Oh, congratulations, Cassie. I need to lose weight too. Not gonna lie, I need to lose a fair bit of weight. But yeah, losing 8 pounds is certainly nothing to sneeze at. Oh, really, I don't think I saw his reply. What do you say? You know, it's the internet. You know, people misunderstand things all the time. It's probably just a communication mishap. Huh, interesting. I'll have to find it myself then. Yeah, that's the main thing. Is that it's really more about the diet than anything. So. Oh, okay, that's good. I mean, that the fact that you're not craving that means that you're developing a kind of discipline for it. So, okay. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yeah, it gets harder as you get older because your metabolism slows down after a certain age. So your body stops burning as much by default. That's why if I recall, it's best to establish a diet in your teen years because that's when your body's burning the most, and therefore you're more likely to overeat and keep that habit of overeating as you lose that metabolism. Now that could be outdated information for all I know. So, oh dear, we're flying in the wrong direction again. Oh, there it is. I love fishing in games, but not the biggest. But in real life, I'm a little too squeamish to do the gutting and stuff afterwards. Indeed, indeed. Well, that's definitely something your doctor should commend you for. That the doctor would be less happy to see that. Like, how did you lose 90 pounds like in such a short time? That's clearly the sign of something much more severe. Still not the worst thing. For a while, the doctor kept for some reason they kept putting that I was a former smoker. I've never touched nicotine in my life. So, needless to say, I was upset. My mom was upset. Luckily, we got that sorted out, but yeah. Nope, never did. Never did, Squid. Yeah, obviously no shame if you do partake, if you do or have partook of nicotine. I mean, a lot of people have over time. I just, or of any substance whatsoever. Like, you know, I know I'm the only one in my household that doesn't do anything with marijuana. It's fine because it's perfectly legal in my state, so. But, you know, like, none of that stuff interests me in any way, shape, or form. My parents are former smokers. I oftentimes say that, oh, I just made such a fuss about, you know, avoiding, like, the room that they would smoke in, or their smoking areas, and would not go near when they were smoking or stuff, that they decided to stop smoking because they clearly realized it was irritating me. But I think it was more have to do with the fact that, simply put, they were realizing that it wasn't doing good for their health, especially since, you know, like, my mom's dad died very young, and smoking probably played a part in that. And then my mom's mom, you know, eventually found herself on oxygen for a brief period of time, partially because she was, you know, a heavy smoker, before she also passed. Yeah, my maternal grandfather was only 56 when he died. My mom was very close to him, so yeah. Well, that was a heavy subject. What'd you have for dinner? I made my mom's favorite soup. It's like this, I call it, it's a chicken nacho soup, I call it. It's a recipe for a white chicken chili that I put way too much cheese in and use some different kind of beans in. And I serve it with tortilla chips. It's really good. Probably not the best for you, but, I know a lot of people in the household really like it. Nice. Nice. Like, you know, I'm actually a pretty good cook. So I would actually, so if I were to ever venture into hand cams, cooking would definitely be one of the things I would do. Now, Cassie, portion control is an important part of a diet. You want to make sure you keep those 8 pounds off. But by all means, if you genuinely feel like you need the extra potatoes, get the extra potatoes. You've earned them. Yeah, that does sound good. Potatoes and bacon and pepper. Baked in a pan. You don't know if you have bacon, eh? It's getting dark. Yeah, I'd imagine turkey bacon's better for you than pork bacon. You know, less fatty. Oh, the sausage gravy. Yeah, that stuff's pretty good. It's not good for you. It's essentially just, you know, it's essentially just watered down biscuit dough with meat in it. But yeah, it's good. It's been a while since I had it. Oh yeah. We don't have breakfast food all that often, so here either. But you know, when we do, it's mostly just eggs, sausage, and/or bacon. Sometimes biscuits. We never really go for the biscuit with the sausage gravy, but I made it once or twice. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's been a while since I had it too. So be nice. Yeah, I should probably have some too. Steak and rice, yeah, yeah. The health food of our household is salmon and salad. It's just, a fillet of salmon with some sort of seasoning on it. It kind of depends on what Dad's feeling like. And a salad. Simple, but good and good for you. You never had salmon? Well, I kind of live in the North Pacific Northwest, so we actually have a decent salmon. A fair bit of salmon here. Salmon's relatively affordable. Obviously, if you're not into fish, you're probably not going to be into salmon, but how do I describe salmon? It's definitely got a flavor to it. How do I describe it? It's I like it. I like salmon, especially with the seasonings my dad does, because again, he's a bona fide chef. He knows what he's doing, and he makes seasoning mixes for local restaurants. So he's got the spares, and he's able to bring the spares home for us to mix and play around with. So. But yeah, fish is supposed to be good for you. So obviously, if you deep fry it, it's probably be a little less so. But especially good for your heart health, if I recall. Did you see that James Earl Jones died today? That's sad. He had such an iconic voice. I mean, at least he made it to the ripe old age of 93, so that's far longer than anyone in my family has ever been able to reach, as far as I know. Yeah, I think you mentioned that last time, Cassie. Yeah. I was like, oh, I really hope that, this other person wouldn't die, and then another person died that I really would have rather not die. But, it is what it is, Death is like one of the main inevitables of life, is that, what begins must end. Yay, level 30. That's how as old as I'm going to be in 10 days. Yeah, Jack Russell. Yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P. everybody. R.I.P. Yeah, can we get 07s in the chat? To everyone that we've lost so far. The whopping 2 of us. It's alright, it's alright. I don't care about the number. I mean, you know, if I cared about the numbers, I probably wouldn't just be streaming me fishing in Minecraft for 2 hours straight. Actually, my inventory's pretty much full. I might as well empty that out again. Yeah, it's been just about 2 hours, so I might call it a day here pretty soon. Not quite yet, but pretty soon. And who knows? I might even stick around till 11. Yeah, well, sometimes I just want to make sure that all your bases are covered. Like, some pharmacies will also, be insistent on giving you a set amount. Like, the pharmacy at the store I work at will, always tries to aim for give you a 90-day supply, unless the insurance says no. So, oops, sorry, wrong button. Yeah, I don't keep mine in the bathroom. My prescriptions are in the kitchen. Nice big cabinet up there. Luckily, I don't have too many pills, and especially compared to like some other people I know. But so I have a nice little basket I keep them in. What was that? Thought I heard an Enderman. Well, we're just about to hit the 2-hour mark. I should actually take my evening pills and get ready for bed here pretty soon. Thanks for coming. It was actually it was actually a great deal of fun despite not really doing anything. It was good to talk with everybody and chit chat. Today we discussed streaming, retro consoles, insurance. But yeah, hope everyone has a lovely evening, and you know, see you all tomorrow. Either I'll stream again, or for hopefully Scarlet's stream. Okay. Oh, no problem, Cassie. Thanks for stopping by. I always appreciate when you come overhead because you come over here because you know it's you're nice to talk. You're nice to talk to. But yeah, heading out.